Poll, a majority of voters expressed fear the economy will be in worse shape this year, but should they be worried? To help us answer that, we're bringing in economist Tom Smith, who's also a finance professor at Emory University. Tom, I hope you brought your crystal ball because I'm going to ask you a whole lot about things that you may or may not be able to predict at this moment. But I know that one of your projections that you had for this year is that we'll be out of a mild recession by February. So first, can you just explain what exactly are the signs of a mild recession?
Well, first, thank you for having me on. And the economy is such an important topic, and everybody needs to understand what's going on. I believe that the economy has been in a recession or has been trending towards a recession since the early part of last year. As I'm sure you know, and many of your watchers know this as well, we've experienced very, very high inflation, upwards of 9%. And the Fed took a while at the beginning of last year to engage in contractionary monetary policy. And so a lot of people have experienced high inflation and, as a result, a decrease in the buying power of their wages. And so those are the two indicators that I've been tracking, and I believe that we're in a recessionary trend right now.
So then, Tom, what makes you hopeful that we'll be able to get out of that recession fairly quickly this year?
Well, I think the Fed's very hawkish movements, they've been very, very robust with respect to their interest rate increases, and we've seen a decrease in the inflationary trends recently. So they've gone down from 9%. Now they're hovering just over 7% year over year inflation. I believe that this is going to continue down to 6%. We're probably going to move into 5.5% or 5.85% territory relatively quickly, which you're gonna feel that immediately. We're already seeing gas prices decrease. We're already seeing price of housing going down, and so these are the trends that I think are going to create a little more levity in terms of your pocketbook, and are going to signal that we're coming out of the recession.
Yeah. You've brought up the Federal Reserve and their rate hikes. Do you see more of those being necessary in 2023?
Yeah, I think the Fed has signaled that they are going to continue to increase their federal funds target rate hikes, and I don't think we're going to see these big movements. No more 75 basis point movements. Probably one more 50 basis point movement, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Fed starts moving towards 25 basis point movements or a quarter of a point increase, because they're keeping track of where inflation is going, and we're seeing these downward trends. We are seeing decrease in the price of gasoline. We are seeing a decrease in the price of housing. But I think the Fed wants to monitor that and make sure that that inflation is staying under control. And I believe that it is getting under control.
Let's end on employment here. What do you see for employment rates? What trends should we hope for in 2023?
Well, we should hope that unemployment is going to continue to be very low. Our unemployment level is below 4%. The issue that is the most concerning right now is labor force participation rates, which have still not increased or have gotten back to where they were pre-pandemic. So there's a lot of people out there who are eligible to work, who were in the labor force prior to the beginning of the pandemic, and they have not re-engaged with the labor force. So a lot of firms are still looking for workers, and so we're seeing an increase in wages. And I think that there's maybe a trend towards, trying out some automation. And so I think workers have to get back into the labor market, and I'm anticipating that they will. People who have not re-engaged quickly are going to be very sorry that they haven't.
Tom Smith, I want to thank you so much for your time and all this insight. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.